the New England Patriots, as a franchise, are almost at rock bottom at this point. Coming off a pretty embarrassing loss to the Bills, where it was easily winnable. Let's be real. If they had a better quarterback, if they had a better scheme, if they had a better game plan, if they had better coaching and all that shit, that game would have been easily winnable. It would have been a high-scoring affair because their defense wasn't faring too well, mainly because their special teams was absolute garbage too, but their defense did just let guys open, and it was just a pretty bad performance overall for the Patriots. But, I mean, we can point back to numerous times in history where it all started to fall apart for the Patriots. Obviously, the notable one was Tom Brady declaring himself as a free agent and deciding to set sail to the warmer seas of Tampa Bay for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise to go and win a Super Bowl championship ring there, which he obviously did with Gronk coming out of retirement. And, I mean, if you're Tom Brady, you made the playoffs another year in a row. I mean, it's ugly, but you did it. You're living your best life because now you have a chance at winning a second ring with this Tampa Bay organization under sort of a little bit of a tweaked coaching staff. But back to New England. We're not here to talk about Brady's legacy. That's for a different time and a different day. But, man, I know where it all went wrong. I know exactly where this whole thing started to capitulate. It started to crumble apart from its very seams. 15th pick, 2021 draft. That's where it all went wrong. Now, you could say, the year after Tom Brady left in 2020, where they had Cam Newton. Cam Newton was washed up at that point. Literally everybody in the history of the earth itself fucking knew that Cam Newton was a scrub at that point in his career. And, I mean, the Patriots and Belichick were trotting him out there just because there was literally no other option at that time. They had to put him out there. There was nobody else they could possibly reasonably start at that point. So, 15th pick, 2021 NFL Draft, first round. They select Mac Jones. And if you looked at the stat sheet of Mac Jones' season, you say, that's a good get. I mean, this kid played for Alabama. He put up monster numbers. He's a national title winner, But they didn't scout him correctly, clearly. There's something wrong with their scouting department because this is a fucking epic miss. I mean, if you watch today's game, and if you watch any games of Mac Jones, his ceiling is like Alex Smith. And I'm not talking about like Chiefs Alex Smith, where he threw like 30-something touchdowns, low INT numbers. No, I'm talking about no leg Alex Smith, like literally with like a rotisserie chicken leg Alex Smith that like threw more picks than he did touchdowns. That's the kind of ceiling that I'm seeing with Mac Jones, and that's not good. Number one, he cannot throw to the boundary. This guy has no arm at all. He cannot make throws with consistency or relative ease to the boundary of the football field, and that is a problem. That means you can only throw down the middle inside the numbers, and then that gets stale and predictable, and then every team defensively can scheme around that middle portion of the field and shut it down and force that shitty arm quarterback to throw to the boundaries, and he can't do that, so it's irrelevant at that point. You might as well just run the ball every play. Number two, he was never asked to make a hard throw at Alabama. I mean, if you consider a 40-yard go route a hard throw, no, because any college quarterback with a lick of arm strength, I'm talking about even like a quarterback for, I don't know, some fledgling program, like, I don't even know, Southern Miss. The quarterback for Utah State could have made that. I mean, you could have put anyone on that 2020 Alabama roster, and they would have prospered, and they would have still won the national champ. Now, obviously, if you trotted out a trash quarterback, they wouldn't have won, but, I mean, he had such a incredible supporting cast that it's like everything that he did in that year didn't matter, because you look at everyone around him, he had this perfect offensive line, these perfect NFL weapons, and it's one of the greatest college teams ever. Mac Jones to me is like the right-handed Matt Leinart, because Matt Leinart at USC had incredible weapons at wideout. He had a great line. Reggie Bush, probably the best running back in the history of college football. And you want to know what he did with the Cardinals in the pros? He stunk it up. He looked like shit. because he was garbage and he wasn't surrounded with all this talent, and he couldn't handle adversity. And Mac Jones is the type of player that just simply does not thrive under pressure, under any sort of duress or adversity whatsoever. Mac Jones, I mean, I'm going to say it right now, Matt Patricia is an absolute dog shit coach. He is terrible at his job. He has no fucking clue what he's doing. And Bill Belichick and his scheme, Matt Patricia's scheme, is archaic. Their coaching style is archaic. Everything they're doing is archaic. And to a certain point and extent, they are holding Mac Jones back, but they're not holding him back a lot, because realistically, this just might be the ceiling of Mac Jones. This game manager who can't even really manage the game correctly because he makes so many stupid reads is sort of ludicrous. And that's all I have to say for this video. And man, the Patriots have had a historic fall off because they can't get the job done at all. They can't win big games anymore like they used to. And honestly, they were carried by Brady. I don't care what you say. Tom Brady made Bill Belichick look like the best coach ever. Bill Belichick is still a good coach, but I think you should hang him up. There's no point, man. You hang the headset up, call it a career. You're probably the greatest coach in NFL history, but just save yourself from embarrassing yourself. And this has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth. Peace out.